Well,
Hey guys, welcome to the Sports Latte. We're here for another episode of the JPL series. This is episode 3. We have anticipated athlete. I've been waiting to talk to him for a while and have gotten the pleasure to talk to him, our co-host for today, Kimani O'Sullivan, a part of the A team.
You don't know.
Should remember us. And yeah, so excited to talk to Alex today. He plays for Portmore United, 25. And his position is a forward. So we're gonna hear all about his story, and I'm excited. You should be too.
Yep.
Dance all Dance all gonna need me. Frankie, this I get too easy.
Marshall, still Marshall. What a strike from Marshall!
So Alex, you're here finally. You told me that you had training this morning and a bag of things to do. You seem to be someone that's very passionate about football. We've known this since high school days. How did this all start?
So I share this story. Hello, I'm Alex Marshall. Of course. I share this story a lot. I don't know, I used to play like scrimmage football in my community, and my grandfather told me one day to just go to training, my uncle and I went, and from that day I just never stopped, I guess.
Which community is that, by the way? Where did you grow up?
In Gortuka, Britain. In Britain.
Everybody seems to have a similar story in terms of I just get up one day to play
Yeah,
football. I just love it.
and play, right?
I think we need to do that, Kimani. Just get up one day and play
Yeah, but I think
football.
that's how it works, guys. You know?
Talent kind of different.
Yeah.
When you started to recognize that you had talent, you say you got up and played football, you liked it, but when did you kind of get the passion?
I think it all came after I scored my first goal, I think, in primary league, because I started playing football very late. I didn't start early, so I think after my first goal, I was like the joy and the joy that I gave my teammates and my coach, and my dad was actually on the sideline.
Really?
After that. He was running with me, and I remember it vividly. He was running with me, and as soon as I put the ball in goal, he was right there.
Yeah.
So
That must be a moment that you
Of
just
course.
can't forget.
Especially in front of your dad, because your dad was a big football fan, right?
yeah.
Okay, cool. So you grew up watching players, which league did you watch the most?
Honestly, I didn't watch football. I was more like,
What?
even though it's like if it's a big game, I'd mostly watch it. But
Okay.
and I mostly watch cartoons growing up, and
Really?
You
stuff
still
like
watch
that.
cartoons?
No.
We don't stop watching cartoons. But I have to ask you, right? You said you didn't grow up watching football that much. Was there a player that stood out to you when you did watch football?
Lionel Messi, but
Of course.
I always tell people that he's not my footballer because he's from a different planet.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
to recreate some of the stuff here is just
Yeah. Alright, so I don't have to ask you Cristiano or Messi because we already
Yeah.
know.
We already know.
Okay, cool. So I'm not gonna ask you about that. Did you model your game off of him at all?
No, not really.
Okay.
Mesut Ozil is more. I think,
Oh, you're a
yeah.
creator? And most people wouldn't think that,
Yeah.
Alex, you know why? Because outstanding goal record, in the Manning Cup. And we're going to speak about the
Yeah, we're
Manning
gonna
Cup,
talk about Manning
of
Cup.
course. So I don't want to jump the gun, right?
Well, you said it. So speaking of Manning Cup, you're at St. George's. I think that was like when everybody kind of just knew Alex. Like it was like a staple name in schoolboy football. I think you're like one of the names that people call when they're saying one of the greatest schoolboy footballers. Tell me about the experience, like playing Manning Cup. You get the attention. Like how did you manage it? Because you seem to be a humble guy. So, and I know girls and everybody want to be your friend. And tell me how you manage that.
I think it was really the help of my coach. I had a coach that believe in like us being humble and like not even if we win a game, not going into a
That's never.
Yes, never.
Yeah, he gave us some pretty good
Yeah,
advice.
yeah.
That's it, so I know.
Shout out.
He really helped me to remain humble, and I'm always not that person. Like I think after a while, it just got growing up. I was more like a very rude child.
Because I heard a secret, guys. I heard that Alex is a drama man, and as much as he sit down here and look nice and calm, I can kind of see, coming out.
You know what, Janae? And it's a thing I'm realizing. The best footballers are the ones that were rude.
Yes, because when I interviewed Christopher J, he was calm, humble, everything.
Yeah.
But that man, drama man.
No,
So
to do a study into that,
Yeah.
So if you're a footballer looking to get further in your career, be a rude boy.
No, listen to that advice.
Yeah, but that's that.
Yeah, but you said that Coach Neville Bell was an integral part of your journey. Coming out of George's now, or let's speak about the prime of your career, right? I want to know your mental state at that age, because it's obviously different from now. You're more mature, you're older, but at that stage, how did you prepare yourself for games? How did you prepare yourself off the pitch to perform well on the pitch? Because we could see outstanding performances on the pitch.
I've been even now I'm still trying to remember what I did at that time, but I think there wasn't any really much social media, there wasn't really much stuff going on. I didn't really check social media as much as now I would go and check after a game. But I think that really helped me, and I had school, so I didn't have
but you
time.
in the newspaper, you come to school, everybody know how Manning Cup matches are. Yeah? When you hear George is playing a KC and the whole of North Street just pack up at Winchester Park, but they're really waiting to see Alex Marshall. I want to know, is that any pressure for you?
No, not really. Because I'm that person, even with all the fame or whatever, I still know that I'm only there because of my teammates. And without them, I would.
You can't shine.
Yeah, exactly. So, and my friends, even the ones that don't play football, I was still that clown, as you call it. So I think that really helped, being in an all-boys school too, no girls and stuff like that. So no distraction, less distraction.
Yeah.
So I think that really helped.
Okay. Tell us a bit about, playing under Neville Bell at George's, one of the premier schools in terms of winning. In terms of the tactical side of the game and understanding, we all know how George's plays football and what Neville Bell does and what he wants and expects from his players. Speak to us how you had to adapt to the way they play and being around so many other stars, schoolboy stars, and playing in that team and being, the most, arguably, the standout player.
I don't know if I should say this, but I don't think coach is more like a tactical coach person. I think
more of a man manager type.
Yeah, I think he's more like a man. He knows exactly what to say to you, and and if he says jump, you're not gonna question him.
Yeah, you run through a wall.
Exactly.
Right?
So yeah, I think that helped us. I think he just if you see our training, it's mostly technical stuff. We don't really do into more formation and stuff. I know we don't really do. It's more like a man kind of thing, and I think that really helped all of us, not just me, Siobhan Stewart and other players.
You know what? you mentioned his name, and I know we're here at the Sports Latte, and I have to ask you because I'm that guy, as Ginny knows,
He's that guy.
If you had to choose, right? And I know what you're going to say, but for the viewers, who's the better of the two? Because I used to have debates about this as well.
When I tell you he was an avid, Alex Marshall
fan, so I would bring up your name in debates about, okay, is he better than a Scarrow, is he better than a Junior Flemings, and all that. You can pick a choice. Who would you say is the better player?
I think in some way I don't think I could have done most of what I did without Scarrow. I don't think I think he really helped me out. He had games where he was feeling like he was a bit injured, and he said, "Alex, today you got to step up."
So it was
Yeah, so
teamwork.
I think, and even now, sometimes I look back and I was like, I had a really good team. Somebody that just know exactly where you're going to be, and know exactly how to pass the ball.
Do you kind of miss that nowadays playing Jamaica Premier League, or you think that you kind of finding somebody that can?
I think with now having Lamar, I think you know, we played, like, we live in Greater Portmore, so we play
Yeah,
scrimmage together and like stuff like that. So I think having him now in the team, and like I think it's slowly coming together where we're understanding each other.
To ask you about this, I don't know if you remember, because I have a lot of football friends, right? Do you recall a time you missed a penalty in your younger days, and you were thinking of stopping football?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yes.
Speak to us a little about that.
So after that miss, I was serious. I think it probably was in the moment kind of thing, but it comes back to having a coach like Neville. I think after that week, during that week, when I was on what's his name? Oral Tracy Sports Commentary.
Okay.
He said something like saying some fish fried team or something like that, and like they'll play some scrimmage. But you know, I know it was all jokes, but at that time I was like, oh, I really shaking. But then he called me, Coach Neville Bell called me and said, during that same week, Messi missed a penalty. I think Aguero missed a penalty. I was like, look at those players. Like those players get paid. You don't even get. You know, he said some words. He said you don't even get that paid as that. So you're gonna quit. Like, how are you gonna quit now?
Well, if you talk about not quitting, and we can see that you obviously didn't quit. You also speak about not getting paid when you were younger. Now it's a different ball game. I think you were you said in the press conference, not last week, the week before, that you're in your rebuilding phase. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But now that you're earning money, you have more responsibilities, you're a grown man, how do you manage your social life and your career? Because you obviously wanted to go further. So how do you balance the two?
I know I'm going to have like so it's not, like, no, it's not the time to like go to parties and like stay because I'm not where I need to be.
Let me tell you something. No footballer can tell you they're not going. Give us a 1 and 2.
Yeah, but I feel like because I did that during like even my younger days, I think I did that. So no,
you're more structured now.
Yeah, no, it's just like
business.
I feel like I need to work on myself. I feel like I have stuff I need to do before I can like really enjoy. But now and then I'll go to a party, but it's not really my style.
You're gonna ask, right?
I'm gonna ask. Are you like a ravers?
Oh, if my friends will tell you back then I was.
So you can bust a one move for the latte fan?
Come on, you can do a little flair.
No, the dance them, no, them just, I don't know.
Too much TikTok business. Okay.
Guys, if you find a little snippet of Alex,
send it in.
Yes.
Alright, so we transition from Money Cup. I think we dealt with Money Cup.
Yeah.
You know, people are going to remember that you went to Canada, you know, and you played there. Speak to us about the league and the transition to, you know, playing professionally in Canada. What was the league like, and you know, coaching and all of that?
I think at the time it was a new league. When I went, it was during COVID, so the season was very short, and we had like they call it a bubble kind of season. So I think the transition wasn't that hard at the time because I was still around my teammates and everything, and I wasn't alone. I didn't have to cook for myself at that time and stuff like that. So I think that really helped. I had a fair season. It wasn't my best, but you know, my team made it to the finals and didn't win. But then other year, it was started as a bubble season. Then we went into like the whole normal season, regular season, like we travel and stuff like that.
Having fun and stuff and stuff.
So after that season, the first season, I had I felt like I had pain in my knee after every game. I had to ice my knee. I couldn't move my knee. So after the season, you know, I stayed back and I did.
Was it tendonitis?
MRI. I did an MRI, and I realized the doctor told me that I had nothing in my knee. Like my meniscus was just gone. Everything.
What?
Yeah. So I had to do a surgery. So.
Not many people know.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had to
the
do
latte
a surgery.
always gets exclusive.
Yeah.
So I had to do a surgery, and you know, I didn't play for probably like 6 months, but it was good because the season was short and pre-season was off-season was very long, so I had time to get back to my running stage and like movements and stuff. So, but big up Quan, he helped me to get back to where I needed to be. But the 2021 season, I just wasn't like, after I started getting into the groove and like playing and like feeling more confident after each game. After when I get to that point, my knee just went to like I'd sit out for like probably the next 2 games or a game.
Wow. Is that affecting you now?
Oh no, I think I'm fine. No,
Okay,
I don't have that problem. I think probably was the AstroTurf.
Oh.
I was going to ask you about Canada because I am African. And I love Canada gone to bed. The life there, completely different from Jamaica. You know, here you can just, anybody can call, they're there for you. Canada, you're literally building a new environment. Was that hard for you, or you kind of just went with the flow?
I think it helped that I had like teammates from the Caribbean, just like in Jamaica, if you have a neighbor, you don't have sugar, you'd be like, Marcy or somebody can get some sugar. So I had teammates where if I needed something, they were there for me, and I think that helped me.
Stay grounded.
Yeah, that helped me. Didn't feel left out.
That's great. I want to talk a little bit about it. I don't want to dwell on it, but I want to talk a little bit about the knee. Injuries affect anybody, especially when you feel like you're making progress. Talk to me about your support system. How impactful were they for you? You have some people that lock away from everybody, that they don't want to talk to anybody right now. This is just not the time. Were you that kind of guy, or were you open to listening to what people have to say and advice?
I think growing up, I in the Manning Cup, I had that strong support system. I think after that season, everything just kind of fell, and I felt like that energy. I didn't have that much energy. So I felt I didn't have much support, even though I had my mom. My mom was there and stuff like that. But somebody you don't really want to talk to her about certain stuff because she don't really understand that. So in Canada, I think I was kind of learning to depend on myself and like learning to
independent.
Yeah, to be more independent, which isn't the best thing because you need people. Like God needed, Jesus needed the 12 disciples. I always tell people so.
Yeah.
And people need people. I always say sometimes you feel like you can do it. Remember this morning?
We had that conversation.
Like this almost didn't happen, guys, and I kind of had to lean on Kiman, and I don't like doing that. So
Janae's very much one of those independent ladies. Nah.
Okay, Alex, let's fly back to Jamaica. You're here again. Welcome home. I don't think it was really like. I think everybody was excited to see you back. Spice up the league a little bit.
Not everybody.
Not everybody?
Yeah.
I read some comments and they weren't the best.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, but let's stay on that topic quickly.
Well, you're back. You said that you're in your rebuilding phase. Coming back, any changes uncomfortable, right? Were you actively watching the league and kind of seeing the type of play that was going on, or are you actively trying to navigate like how everybody plays and stuff like that?
Is it as in my team or just over?
Just the league in and of itself. Playing in the team.
I know coming back would be aggressive. Like it would probably be worse now because everybody, I think people try to prove like I'm not gonna let him come back and not act like he's a big thing now. And you should hear the supporters for the opponent, like they are very the words like so. I knew
strong.
Yeah, I knew coming back it wouldn't be easy. I think, and I said it the other day. I'm happy that I have teammates like young teammates and like even Rudolph Austin like to push you and a coach that really believes in you and give you that freedom and and to do what he knows you can do.
Because Portmore has a relatively good team to meet this year with the likes of you, Lamar, even Tevin. Rudolph and his brother. There, you guys seem pretty strong. I want to know, what do you think is, because you guys aren't in the playoff, the top 6, what do you think you as well as your team would need to do to kind of get into those rankings before playoffs?
We said, I think somebody said it in a team meeting that we weren't a team as yet. Like I think now we're starting to gel more, and as you know, stuff like in football and like sport, it just doesn't happen right away. Like it takes time, and because we weren't here for pre-season and stuff, we don't really understand everybody. Like they were still learning how I play. My coach was still learning that. I'm not always the one that's gonna run me by. Sometimes I like it to my foot and stuff like that. So I think now we're kind of clicking. And hopefully we start winning.
And we're going to see that. Last week you guys played in the Lynx Cup. I actually was kind of anticipating that match because I don't think we've seen a Portmore Arnett match so far. So to see them in Lynx Cup and you guys won, you scored, and all of that kind of is a positive for Portmore, and I know it kind of motivated you.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Alex. Which one would you say is the lesser of the two evils? Playing out there and having fans heckle and getting your head and chanting stuff at you? Or do you pay attention to, as you said, no, social media is more prevalent. So you coming back to Jamaica from Canada, as you said, not many people were warm or welcoming to you coming back because they're saying, okay, this seems like a step backwards.
What?
In many people's heads, because that's how many people think. How do you navigate that, and what's their feelings towards, that animosity, so to speak, from opponents or even from persons who expected you to, because
I know, like, regardless, like, even if you're doing good, people always have something to say. So, I say it's been happening from I was like 16, I think. So I think by now I'm used to
That's
like
crazy.
even going to Canada, people had a lot to say. Like, what is he doing in Canada? Like, he should go to MS. Oh, of course I'd love to go to MS, but things take time, and some people route is different.
And I see the Jamaica Premier League taking a shift because there are a lot of people who have gone abroad, come back, and even they've gone again. Look at Nicholas Hamilton, he just signed a contract in, I think it's Italy.
I think so.
So I see a lot of people using the JPL as a rebuilding phase, but my question is to you as a footballer, do you think that we in Jamaica, with the JPL as our highest tier of football, can make this a legitimate league that we don't have to leave?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Like,
it's a tricky one.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if we have enough like resources.
And everybody has that. The reason why I ask is because everybody has that response. The resources is an issue. So I think we probably should like look at that, because my how I view things is look at the foundation problem and then everything else will solve itself. So we could look at the resources, but continue.
I had to ask because we're familiar with how you play, right? I have two questions. It's twofold. When you play for Portmore, you seem to have a free role where you start up top, you end up on the left, you end up on the right. Sometimes you play as a 10. Which position is your favorite? One, and two, as a dribbler, right? And somebody who's creative and loves to have the ball at his feet. How does the pitch affect? Because there's this whole discourse about pitches in Jamaica and the fields, and how we had Coach Grimmy, that's the international head coach now, speaking and lamenting about how the pitches are so bad. As a player that is direct and loves to take on his man and dribble, how does it affect you?
I think the pitch sometimes causes you to dribble. Like, even if you don't want to dribble, sometimes the pitch, like, because you have to like take that extra touch because it's ball bounce up a weird kind of way. And then you don't really have time to scan or like, check your shoulder to know exactly where your teammates are or what they're going to do next. I think that's the issue. And then when you transition to go overseas, you kind of have to pick it up a notch because you're so used to the field, like that bad bounce, like, so now you're playing kind of slow.
Yeah. So that's why most players, when they go overseas, they say the pace is much faster
because of the
ball travels.
And even
along
Coach Algerton was talking about it. He was saying that no, he didn't say it. I think Craig Butler had said it in the interview that was it him? Actually, actually that might
He said even if you put
Messi on the
Messi
field,
yeah.
that he probably wouldn't, and point taken, you know. Alex, I kind of want to know this, and I asked Giovanni and I asked Krista J, right? Your objective for this season, apart and aside from it being a rebuilding phase, right? Is it that you're looking towards the goals, or is it that you're looking towards just perfecting your craft as a footballer? Like, what exactly is the goal for you for the remainder of the season?
I think to get back to where I think I should be, like scoring more goals, but also helping my team. You know, if the team is doing well, people is going to want to see why the team is doing well. If I'm a part of the team doing well, then more eyes gonna be on me, and like that's more exposure, not for myself.
I'm going to play devil's advocate. Everybody wants to make it into the playoffs. It's not a guarantee that anybody will make it because the 3 points and they come and go each week. Say for instance, you don't make it into the playoffs. We're not wishing that, but we're just saying. What would Alex do from that point onwards?
I'm not sure because I'm not thinking about not making it to the playoffs, but
see the mindset, guys.
But, I'm not really thinking about not making to playoffs, but you know, if that time comes and we're not in it, then I'll have to figure out what I need to. But it happens, it's life, and you have to move on.
Okay. Speak to us a little about nationality, because as most of us may know, Coach Grimmy was actually present at a lot of the JPL games. So it's an indicator that he's actually paying attention to the locals, and you saw him invite some local players to be a part of it, you know? Is that something you're aware of, something you have directly in your head that, okay, this is a possibility, and naturally, you know, representing your country, because you have before, you know? So to get back to that level, is that something you're cognizant of every time you step out there?
Oh, of course. I tell myself, like, my motivation right now is that I want to be in the Gold Cup squad, you know, so that's my motivation right now. I'm working. Hopefully you'll come back to more games when you get back from Nations League. I'm working towards that, and you know, still have I know international football is not easy because I've played, so I still have stuff I need to work on, so hopefully by the time he gets back, I'm where I need to be.
Do you think that the coach Grimmy is adding to pressure because, as in, let's take Arnett for an example, he'll come there, sit down in the stands, in his own little corner. Do you spot him and say, wait, he's here, I need to play like my A game right now? Like, is that?
I don't think he's been at any game I've played so far.
Okay.
That don't mean you can't watch it. You can check it out.
Yeah, they have scouts. and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I don't really go into games thinking like he's there, I'm going on, because I feel like that's added pressure. I mean, I just want to enjoy my game, and I feel like the more I enjoy my game and I put extra pressure, the better.
Yeah. Especially, you know, the World Cup is coming up, right? It's really soon. I think it's 4 years time.
He said really soon, and then he said 4 years.
Yeah. But the opportunity is there, you know, because who knows, you could be in that World Cup squad. And how far do you think, well, naturally you're going to want to be in there, but how far do you think Jamaica can realistically go? First of all, you think we can make it?
Yeah, of course.
You have to say yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, speak about like the prospects of Jamaica going to the World Cup.
Yeah, I think I have a lot of players from playing in the second division in England, and you know, in English Premier League. I think players realize it all, that you know, Jamaica is building, and players want to be want to be a part of it going forward. Like so I think we have a good chance. I think when the time comes, we'll have a good team.
And he's gonna be on the team, guys.
Yeah.
Well, Alex, we're kind of coming to the end of this segment. We're going to go on to more exciting things. We're going to play this or that, would you rather? Because I know Kimani, he calls himself the goal connoisseur.
Don't forget
so
that.
He has, you know, the questions stored up. So guys, this is the second segment where we're going to be asking Alex some this or that questions. Alex, you told me a while ago that you used to be a party guy.
Yep.
So I want to know now, 25-year-old Alex, do you like road or you like to just par with your friends?
I like to just part with my friends, you know.
Reach that stage.
Yeah, I think
Calm down.
big parties are a bit too extreme now.
We literally said that a while
we're having that
ago.
conversation.
Yeah, I can have that same vibe with my friends at home.
Probably
so
even
you
a
want
better
party.
vibe. Kimani?
Well, I'm the goal connoisseur, scorer of goals. You know, in my own right, I'm very lethal. You know. But I have to ask you, as an elite goal scorer yourself, half volley or free kick? Harder to score.
Half volley.
Half volley?
Yeah.
You're not a dead ball specialist, are you?
Oh, I like to think that.
Okay, but you think a half volley is
Yeah.
harder. Explain why. I think so.
I think I don't know. The ball is moving. I guess like a free kick, like you spot the
time to
ball.
set the
Yeah, you have
thing.
time to know where the goalkeeper is, like stuff like that. So
Okay, cool. Continue.
Okay. I asked everybody this question, and I have to ask you. And I think you're going to say what everybody else says.
You never know.
Man of the match for the remainder of the season, every match, or win the Jamaica Premier League.
come on, that is win the Jamaica Premier League. But
Okay.
if that includes getting my then
He's the
yeah.
only one that had a
Yeah.
catch.
Yeah. I appreciate that. All right. Who's winning the Premier League? No, England.
Oh.
I'm in a Newcastle shirt.
Oh.
I'm fighting for top 4. Yeah, but I'm not sure if you're aware of what's going on over there, but you could.
Oh. There's this team at the top of the league. You know, yeah, I'm a Arsenal supporter.
Okay,
so,
cool.
Yeah, of course I want
I
Arsenal
know you have
to win.
so much supporters. I can hear Shawana Banks in my
boy.
ears. I can hear Trishan. Well, no,
Comment
Trishan is
section
Liverpool.
just blow.
I just hear them.
Yeah, definitely
Wow.
Arsenal.
I don't want to tell you guys which side I support.
Let's not. No, let's hear it. Latte boss.
Manchester.
I mean, they recently won a trophy, so we can't kill them.
Not
You know.
City, you know.
United. Yeah, you won a trophy recently. Can't kill them. Big up the Man U support. That's all good.
Whatever. Let's see. What else can we ask Alex? I want to ask you something. If you never went to George's, what other school would you have wanted to play Manny Cup for?
Don't mess this up.
Because I have an idea in my head, you know. I just wonder if you were saying.
I think
Don't mess this up.
everybody Jamaica College I think get
No, I was even thinking about Jamaica College.
Jamaica College.
You actually thought of Woolman's?
No.
What? Guys, what are we doing?
I
We wouldn't go to Kingston College?
Oh, I forget you're an old boy now.
No.
Alex!
No, I don't actually. Honestly, I don't see him as a KC boy.
I don't think
Bro, you would have elite on the right wing with.
No, I don't. No. Purple is just not my color either. Like.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And we
If he
suffer-
even wore the blue and white today,
Yeah,
I think he just likes
And
blue.
we suffered at the hands of Alex for many games, so I mean, I understand.
I'm gonna ask you this question. You probably don't have to answer it now. You can just send me later. If you're supposed to pick a starting 11 for like an ideal JPL starting 11 with you on it, I want to know who would be a keeper, who like what your formation would be, and who would be the coach. We give you time.
Alright, I'll think about the time. So, but right now I can't really think out my head.
Okay. Oh, favorite position: right wing, left wing, striker, 10, number 10.
I think I like the free roll, like not being shipped to one position. Like that. Some games you don't want to play with your back turn to the goal because you have some big defenders. Some games you have some defender that you can, play with your back to go and still get ahead of them.
Okay.
And if you were supposed to play anywhere with any team, with any footballer, what would it be? Where would it be? Who would it be? And what would the coach be? If you got it your way.
Barcelona, Pep Guardiola,
Which stadium would you want to play? Like your dream stadium?
Oh, Camp Nou.
Camp Nou.
Oh, Camp Nou is
Goes
beautiful.
without saying, right? Okay. Alright. This one is kind of off the bat, but you pour the cereal first or the milk first?
Cereal first.
Man of culture.
He have sense, man.
Yeah, man.
You
Because
have to balance it out.
the ratio, man. The ratio.
Well, Alex, this is the end of our interview. It was very fun talking to you. I have a lot of questions to ask you, but the time isn't
And
there.
more episodes coming up.
And more
Alex will be
episodes
back,
coming
right?
up.
Definitely.
Hopefully you can come back. And we can probably see Alex was a one move, to say it's a reverse and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
we might go to a football field and have like a free kick. Come on.
Alright.
That would be fun. That would be fun.
Really?
So you think you would have it?
I think that's definitely something you guys should get to the show.
Okay.
Comment section.
Guys, comment section if you want to see.
Kimani versus Alex.
They know that they can't call my name, because I ain't doing that.
Goal connoisseur, oh gosh, man.
But Alex, it was super fun. I'm glad that you took the time out to talk to us because trust me, boy, it was a whirlwind before you came
Yeah,
here.
it was.
So I appreciate it, guys. You can follow him on Instagram at
Alex_Marshall. The Marshall is with the 4.
Beauty gunting,
and Kimani. You can follow him.
Kimani_O'Sullivan.
Kimani with a Y.
No, 2 eyes.
Two.
Wow, look at my
Wow.
co-host. Crazy. See,
I'm so
see?
sorry.
Look at this.
You know that every episode I mess up somebody's name. It's so sad.
I am
And you can follow the Sports Latte, guys. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. You guys will be back next week for episode 4 of the JPL series. You don't want to miss it.